We're live, thank goodness. Here we are.
Yeah.
It's a little early today. We are talking about what are we talking about? Oh, the five the five questions we get asked a lot. Now there are a lot of questions, so to narrow it down, we just thought maybe the most recent questions would be probably the best. So if you don't know me, my name's Cheryl, and I've lost 50 plus pounds since the beginning of the year, mostly menopause weight. I have a background in fitness, but that didn't stop the belly fat from creeping on. And so throughout the journey, came across some interesting stuff and encouraging and coaching others to do the same. And so today was the top five questions, and you want to stick around for the last one where you will get the scoop on actually how I lost the weight. And my partner in crime right here. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sandy, and I've been in the health and wellness fitness for 10 years. And I had my own health journey, losing 19 pounds, 26 inches, mostly around the belly area, thighs, that kind of thing. So, and kept it off. And yeah, so we're here answering some of the questions of most common questions we have recently, and how we kept it off. So yeah, so you have to stay till after the end for the bonus.
Exactly. So just because we thought we'd have some graphics, we just thought we'd put that on there. Top five questions. So yeah, so I'm going to start with one of the questions that uh, I have had in because it's up my wheelhouse. It says I'm having a hard time losing weight. I work out all the time and nothing's moving. What gives? Well, from experience. So depending on your age, this person I believe is probably in their 40s, if not older. But I'm not going to guess exactly because they didn't offer that up. But as you do get older, um, y- your estrogen levels will start to drop as you go into perimenopause, menopause, and things that used to work to lose the weight, like working out, become less effective. Not for everybody, but for I would say majority of people, but not everybody falls into that category. So so if you're working out the same way and expecting the same results as you age, it may not turn out that way because of the hormone fluctuation. So, what I would suggest is first of all, doing a food journal. Like I know people don't really like to do food journaling, but it really give you an indication of what exactly is going on. So do a food journal. And exercise, you should be keeping track of the exercises that you're doing, how long, intensity, things like that. Then you can get a bigger picture of what's going on. Maybe it is diet related. Um, Maybe it is the age and the estrogen and everything else. From my personal experience, when I taught fitness classes, and in doing so, I taught a lot. So I had high intensity and a lot of cardio. And so it was defeating the purpose of me losing weight. I thought, oh, I'm going to work out and I'm work out all the time and I'm going to be super slim. Well, that didn't happen. Menopause, hormones change, my body's under stress. Stress causes cortisol. Cortisol sticks around the middle, and then it seems like nothing is moving. So it's like a whole bunch of things. It's like a perfect storm, but not perfect, right? So it's like a perfect storm. Everything's happening all at once, and it's not necessarily just the one thing. So that's why it's really important to kind of see what your activity levels are, what your weights are, what you're eating, and maybe what you're not eating. Water, maybe you're not having enough water. There's lots of different variables, but to get a better picture, so yeah, maybe not working out as hard unless you're training for something specific, but easing off, not doing high cardio. You can do your weight training and everything else, but it's kind of like it's a fine line. You kind of have to know where you're at, know what you're doing, and then make adjustments either way.
Mm, that's interesting,
Mm,
right?
yep.
Yeah, how it affects your body as you age, and it can be frustrating too because you're doing the same things, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden it's not working, and you think, "Am I going crazy? What's happening? How come this is happening with me?" Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for
It's
sure.
That's exactly it too, right?
Hmm.
Um, and it's common. It's a common question, right?
Hmm.
It
Oh yeah.
happens to a lot of people, and so like yeah, they do the exact same thing they did, you know, every time they gain and lose weight. It's They do the same thing. They have their plan down, and then it just doesn't work. So
Hmm.
it becomes super frustrating.
Right.
Yeah. So okay, I have a question for you. So um, and then we can both jump in here, but I'll let you lead this one.
Okay.
So, so a lot of our videos and a lot of the things that we post, we talk about balancing hormones. So, what does that mean? What do you mean when you're saying balancing hormones? I know what hormones are, but what do you mean by balancing hormones?
So you have to have a balance of your hormones, your 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 estrogen, right, which is a hormone, your cortisol, right, and the third one. What's the third one? Yeah,
Insulin. Insulin.
insulin. That's it. Insulin resistance. That's a
Yeah.
big one.
Yeah.
So when these are out of whack, these hormones, what happens is your body reacts in a different way. Uh, People find that it's hard to lose weight. It's hard. You just don't. You're more sluggish. Your moods swing, right? Which is the cortisol. And with cortisol too, you gain more weight around the middle. And when your hormones are balanced, basically your body knows what to do because you're giving the body the proper nutrition or supplementation so that your hormones are balanced, and so then your body uh, runs more efficiently. So when your body runs more efficiently, it works better, right? So you'll find you have more energy. Your moods are better. You sleep better, and you release weight, right? So having those hormones in balance are really, really important.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are other hormones that
Yes.
are there. Like there's the hunger hormone, ghrelin, and of course
Mm-hmm.
for men there's testosterone. So we just picked the three that relate to us because estrogen.
Yes.
But there's progesterone, so there's lots of different hormones
Mm-hmm.
that if one's out of whack, the other ones will
Mm-hmm.
follow, and then or can follow, and then all of a sudden that's the belly fat or the sleeping problems or what, and it's kind of again accumulative, right?
Yes. Yes.
And it may start off with just one thing, and all of a sudden like everything's going sideways.
Yeah, it builds, right?
Yeah,
It's almost like it builds and then it goes on and then it builds up and builds up, right? Yeah. So you find you have all these issues, right?
exactly. All right. So the next question is, so you talk about intermittent fasting. Um, what exactly, like, what are you doing for intermittent fasting and why? Woo, good. So yeah, so we're basically we're trying to. So first of all, and you can jump in here to any time too. So first of all, we added intermittent fasting into our 28-day program because we wanted to get the best results in the shortest amount of time possible. Now, if you're not on 28-day, you don't have to do the intermittent fasting, but I'll go over the reason why. So when you so your body uses glycogen as fuel. So when you are intermittent fasting, after between the 8 and 12-hour mark, your body will start to go from glycogen to uh, fat as a source of energy. So your insulin levels will start to decrease. So why we incorporate that is so we can get to using the fat as a source of energy as opposed to the glycogen in your muscle. Now, glycogen in your muscle can come from carbohydrates, can come from sugars, and things like that. So another part of the program is we are removing all the extra crap the sugars, to put it mildly, I just call it crap. So the sugars and things like out of your meal plan, um, to get into that fat storage. And that is why on the 28-day challenge, the results are like awesome, like phenomenal, better than most 28-day programs. So yeah. And of course, with the longer that you go, there's different benefits for that, but we do it for the 8-hour window, I believe.
Yeah, and you know, when I did that for the first time, I was pretty skeptical because I thought, oh, okay, is that fasting word? I don't know about this. But actually, I was quite surprised because I thought I'd be really, really hungry. And it was the opposite actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that 8 hour window, and it just felt like my body felt better. Like it
Mm-hmm.
felt better. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, because, and you realize, you know, how much food that you have that you don't really need. You're just doing it. It might be out of boredom. It might be out of stress. It might be whatever, cravings
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And I found that all that lessened because I was doing this fasting. I was quite surprised, really,
Yeah.
because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is that. It kind of takes you into the next question that kind of it relates to that. Well, kind of maybe. It's the meal plan. So someone said, "Oh, I've done keto. This sounds like keto." Well, no, it's not keto. So the similarity is the low glycemic. Okay, so we want to have low glycemic food. So this is with the 28-day, or if you're doing the drops, the hormone balancing that we're talking about. So that this is specific kind of to that. Okay, so it's not like all. It's just that a lot of times when we're talking about stuff, it's kind of all related back to like what our journey is. So so keto itself is different because keto is like you're allowed dairy um, and inflammatory foods, and we're taking the inflammatory foods out and the dairy out because we're trying to get rid of any of those hormone disruptors as well and the inflammation so our hormones can work. So that's one of the kind of key differences that I feel. I mean, there might be more, but that's kind of the key difference for me. I mean, we still follow the glycemic index. We just take some of those inflammatory foods out and follow a food plan.
Right. And there's something with the fats too, right?
Oh yeah, so the fat. So some of the inflammatory foods do include like vegetable fats, vegetable oils, and things like that. So so when I talk about inflammatory, it's like dairy and it's like the certain oils, like I said, vegetable oils because it's processed so much. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but those are the two like the things that come to mind there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that too, that's why one of the reasons you feel so good too, because not only are you balancing your hormones, but you're getting rid of all the processed foods,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting rid of the sugars and all the
Yeah.
inflammatory foods,
Yeah.
which is huge, which
Yeah.
makes a big difference too,
Right.
right?
So if your
Yeah.
body's not fighting that inflammation and is
Mm-hmm.
starting to utilize like for example those drops or even foods and is starting to use and do things properly, then you're giving your body a chance. But if you're like having like milk in your coffee and ice cream and like all these other things that disrupt your, I'm just throwing that out there, but even if it is like fake sugar ice cream but you're still having dairy,
Yeah.
or even if you're having cheese because there's no carbs in cheese, you're still disrupting your hormone or adding animal hormones to your body, and so the effects are not going to be the same and it's going to create that inflammation.
Right.
So that's like I said, one of the big key differences that I found.
Right. And I mean, when you want to balance your hormones, you don't want to add other hormones from other sources
Yeah.
when you're trying to balance your hormones.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it defeats the purpose.
Exactly. Yeah.
What else did we do? So we did those two. We got one, two. Okay, so All right. Let's see what your memory's like. So,
Oh boy.
so somebody said, so I'm, I'm I'm taking some supplements. I'm doing the challenge, and we get this all the time. And again, I'm referring to things around the challenge as well, because a lot of these topics come from there. But I mean, it could be applied to other things as well. But one of the things was about plateaus. Um, like uh, I haven't really changed anything, and now I'm plateauing, and I don't understand like what's going on. Why am I plateauing, and what can I do?
Right. And plateau is actually quite normal, right? Because your body gets used to this, and all of a sudden, it plateaus. But when it plateaus for a certain length of time, it's like, okay, why am I plateauing? What does your food plan look like? What is your water intake? Hidden sugars and stuff like that. But one thing too is as you lose weight, you have toxins, and those toxins actually are attached to your fat cells, right? So when you lose the fat, you still have the toxins which actually attach to your organs. So this can stall. So what we do is we like to detox our body and get and help flush and get rid of those toxins. Which when you get rid of those toxins, that helps your body anyway. But if you're in a plateau, it really right you should take it anyway.
Mhm.
But during the plateau, we found that adding this really made a difference in your weight loss.
Yeah, exactly. And just like we have all gained weight, like obviously throughout the years, most people have gained at least something, like 5 pounds or whatever. But for those of us who've gained more, we understand this. So it's like a ladder. You like one day you're 150, and then 5 months later you're 155, and then
Yeah.
you stay there for a while, 160, whatever, and then you go back down, and it's going to be the same idea. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go up, or I'm going to go keep going down. And sometimes it will go up and down and up and down.
Mhm.
It's not like it's not never normal.
Right. Yeah.
So when you have plateaus, sometimes that just means that either you have to shock your system too, like
Hmm.
have the flush, or do something out of the ordinary, you know, with your body or with your eating or something, just to shock it so it's not getting into this almost harmonious, what do you call it? Like happy go lucky. Oh, I like sitting here. You gotta like, oh no, we're gonna throw you a curveball. So all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what are you doing, lady? I didn't ask to have ice cream. No, I was kidding.
Hey, yeah, yeah,
Right? And then
yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, I guess we got to work some more, right? So it's
Hmm.
kind of
Hmm.
weird, because I always, this is personal. This is what I found. If I went and had like a big meal, something that I typically wouldn't have, all of a sudden it would just jar my body and everything would just start to go. But that's just me. Don't follow that. Like detoxing is probably better and finding more positive ways, but yeah, I found that interesting. But that everybody's body's different. Everybody's body's different. So
And two, when you detox, don't forget those toxins have been sitting there and
oh
add up and add up and add up.
yeah.
Whether what you're eating, the toxins in your air, toxins that come through your skin, things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it just accumulates, right? So when you get rid of that, you feel so much better because it's just like if you're just getting rid of all that, right? And that's why it's important to drink lots of water too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, so we're down to the final question, and we both can answer this because I think we did similar but different things. So I saw your picture. What picture? Did you see my picture? How did you lose all that? What did you do to lose the weight? Tell me what you did. So so my picture's on Facebook somewhere. I don't know. I'm sure people have shared it all over the place. So that was the picture I have out there was when I lost 40 pounds. I'm 50 something now. So what did I do? Well, first of all, I decided that I wasn't going to hide anymore, and I was going to make a change. And I was very frustrated because everything I had tried up to that point wasn't working. And so I was like, okay, well, I have to do something. Like, I'll try this one last thing. And so, first of all, I kind of de-stressed my body a little bit. And then I started taking the skinny drops that we talk about and that balance your hormones that kind of led to this whole top 5 question thing. So, so following the meal plan. So I first started off on my own. I didn't like, I say on my own because there's like a huge group and there wasn't really like smaller connections. So I started off on my own, did fairly well, started the 28-day challenge, and all of a sudden things just went, whew, took off. Took off. So
Literally.
yeah, like literally like fell off. Like I can take my pants off without actually undoing it's crazy. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, so I started the drops. Then I had really good success, but then I'm like, oh, I got to get rid of these toxins. So then I had another. I had, what is it called? Restore? Is it Restore?
Sorry.
So I started taking that, which helps get the toxins out. I'm like, well, okay, well, I want everything gone. I want to look really good. And then I started with some of the shakes that have they have pre and probiotics, I believe, in them. So I did that. And then what else? I took the energy, I forget what that's called. Rejuvenex. I gotta remember everything I did. And then probiotics, because gut health is uber important, so important. And then taking green. So I did like a shake at least once a day. And then, yeah, just at least once a day. I don't think I went more than once a day. But I thought, you know what? I started with just the drops at the beginning, and then when I went on the 28-day, I'm like, no, I'm going all in because I'm competing.
Exactly.
Right. So, but I started off just with the drops, and then you had some success, and then wanted more, and so I did that and followed the eating plan. So like low glycemic, high nutrition, balanced meals, and then exercise. Well, I started exercising, but just doing, I started off slow. I never did high intensity, 3 to 4 weeks, 3 to 4 days a week maximum. And I just changed up, like I did muscle groups just alternated muscle groups. And yeah, I just kept it consistent, and then drinking water, because I know I wasn't drinking enough water. And then later on, I added another thing in for help with stress. So I was taking stuff for stress and sleep before I started. And then halfway through, I started with stress because of menopause and anxiety. So that's basically how I did it. And then with the 28-day, we come with the accountability. So we have small groups of 6, and that you check in, you weigh in, you do measurements, but you weigh in every day and let everybody know if you're up or down. You don't have to tell everybody your weight. And accountability, and then asking questions and having those groups. And so that's my experience, and how the big picture of how I lost weight and continue to do so. And as a bonus, I know I keep talking, as a bonus, had 5 weeks off and didn't really follow the plan, but I was on holidays, and then came back to do, I'm going to do another challenge because I'm pretty sure I gained weight, and guess what? I didn't. The drops actually worked. Not that I'm surprised, but you're so used to things like, oh, you go off the rails and weight comes back. It actually worked so well that when I was done my holiday, I actually weighed lower than when I ended the last round. So so surprise.
Which is great, because your hormones were balanced.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So
Yeah. My body learned how to work more
yeah, and
efficiently.
it knows what to do and how to run efficiently too.
Yeah. And then you can talk about your journey.
Yeah, and for me, I yeah, it was I did the drops, and of course I did something for cortisol um, for cortisol, and I also did the shakes. The nice thing about the shakes is, it's really they're handy. If you don't have any, they're so quick to make. If you're on the go, you want to take it, and you can take it with you. And I like that our shakes, you can bake with it, and you can do all kinds of stuff with them. And they're pea protein. There's no whey in them. There's no dairy. It's low GMO stuff, like all these good things. And I did the intermittent fasting, and drank the water, accountability, like you said, and it just came off. 28 days. It just came off, and I found that I felt so much better, and it looked so much better, and I could fit into my clothes again, which was huge because it was like, what happened? I tried to put my pants on. It was like, oh no, I need help. So yeah, so I think with accountability, the support, and following, of course, the food plan too. I followed the food plan exactly what was in there. So, which really made a huge difference. So yeah, that's kind of my journey with 19 pounds, 26 inches. Um, it's been over 5 months or whatever, and I've kept it off. And I'm not on the drop, but
Yeah.
I've kept it off. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's how we did it. So
yeah,
I know it's kind of like a long-winded thing of what we've done, but it actually doesn't have to be that hard. I mean, the
yeah,
first thing with anything is just making a decision, and then
yeah.
knowing that you're worth it.
Hmm.
I mean, you could
Yeah,
go out for dinner and blow what you're gonna like, what you're gonna like spend on your health. So
yeah.
it's all perspective and what you want out, and
Hmm.
our job is to really find out. It doesn't have to be weight loss; it could be any health goal. So our I'm just going to move this here. So our goal for you is just to find, or our job is really to find out what it is that you want from your health, right?
Hmm.
For me, it was weight loss because weight loss, anxiety, that's where, and it kind of all came together. So I had anxiety and I had this weight and all this stuff. So, but everybody's different,
Hmm.
right? You may just want to have better sleep, or you may just want to have, you know, I don't know,
Yeah,
more energy, whatever it may be. So I'm just coming from my point of view, but anybody, I mean, we can help anybody, right?
yeah, yeah. And what we like to do is we have to help solve, and you know, help to solve the issues, whatever that issue is,
Mm-hmm.
right? We are there to help you, coach you, mentor you, things like that, because that's what we really enjoy. And when you do something, yeah, we're all the same. When you do something and find something that is really, really works and really helps you feel better, you want to
Mm-hmm.
share that knowledge, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Whether it's, we're all the same. Let's see, you found something, like, oh, wow, this is the best thing I ever tried. You share it with people because
yeah,
you want to help them, you want to help
right,
them, right? So, yeah,
yeah, exactly.
that's why we do it.
Yeah. Just in case you want to get a hold of us, here's our
Mhm.
information, our socials.
Yeah, if you have questions, stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, if you have a question, you can always put it wherever you find this video, and we'll get back to you. Or you
Yeah,
can private message if you don't want to be blasted all over social media. It's totally fine.
yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah,
And and topics that you're interested in, or you want to find more information on, or
yeah.
more specific things, right? Just
Hmm.
yeah, just reach out to us because
Yeah,
we enjoy helping people and answering questions, and seeing what we can help with.
exactly.
Yeah,
So that's why we're here. That's the questions, because, like I said, we're in the middle um, of this weight loss thing going on. So a lot of them were kind of geared towards there, but yeah. So just ask a question.
yeah,
We'll
yeah,
help you out.
yeah. And as we get questions asked to us, they and we figure out, okay, what are some of the common questions, and and we put them together and hopefully inform you and help you to make a decision about your whole health journey, your health goals, and
Yeah,
to make that decision to change your life, to change your health.
exactly. Exactly. Well, until next time, take care and stay healthy, my friends.
Yeah, and thanks for tuning in with us, and hope you found this valuable. And yeah, until next time, take care.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.